Hello, this is Tagene of Money Coaching Services, and let me tell you what happened to me. The ABM machine, the automated banking machine, took my cash. So what I'm going to do is tell you what happened to me. Then I'm going to tell you what to do if something like this happens to you, and also give you some tips of what you should do this holiday season when you're using the ABM machine, when you're depositing or withdrawing from the ATM machine. Okay, all right. So I was doing a transaction, right? So I got some funds in one account, and normally what I did, I would be transferring to another bank to go to a separate account. But because I wanted the process to be faster, I couldn't wait the 24 hours for it to transfer the money from one bank to the other bank. So I went to the machine. So I was taking the money from NCB and I wanted it to go to Sagicor. So I went to NCB, withdraw the money, fine, good with NCB. Now I went to Sagicor to deposit the money. When I went to the ATM, first of all, the first ATM machine I went in, it was full of smoke, right? So I tell the security, I'm not going back in that machine. I'm going to wait until the other machine is available to go into the machine. Listen, people, I do not smoke. So, that is not something I'm going to really stay in a machine and inhale all of that smoke for no good reason. That's not good. All right, so I went into the second machine. All right, in there wasn't all that fresh, but at least no smoke. Put in the card, then it asks me to put in the cash. So I put in the cash into the slot, then it counting. It's a wait a while, it counting. Then it says ejecting the cash. So it ejected the cash, but what I expected is that it would spit out the cash, and if anything was left back, it would say, okay, we received X, so now put back the remainder, and so that I could just put back the rest in there to come up to the grand total. For people, that did not happen. What happened is that it gave me some of the cash, and then it said, AVM not accepting deposits at this time. I said, really? So I try it again. And I get back the same response because I wanted to see if it was going to spit out the balance. So I didn't put in the money the second time. I was just trying the process and see if it would spit out the money eventually. No, people, no money. So I had to, good thing the bank was open. So good thing I went into the bank now and I went to the teller and I deposited the money that the machine gave me back. And I was telling the teller that the machine still has some of my money. So she told me to make a report and they will document the information on what happened. So, that is what happened. So I had to make a report. So, if you go to an ABM, which is an automated banking machine, some people call it ATM, which is an automated teller machine, it means the same thing. Okay, it just means the machine you go to get your cash or to withdraw your cash or deposit your cash. Okay, people? All right. So if you go to deposit cash, it is best to use the same bank. So I was depositing cash at Sagicor using my Sagicor ABM card or debit card. Okay? The reason for doing this is because how the banking process works. For those of you who don't know, I have been in banking for over 18 years, 17 years at Bank of Nova Scotia, 1 year at JN Bank. What the process is in banking, when you deposit or even withdraw, if anything goes wrong, it has a process that it must go through. The first process is they identify if the card that you're using is their card. So say, for example, you went to Sagicor. So Sagicor is going to look and say, okay, the transaction was done at our machine. Was it done with our card, right? Does the card have Sagicor on it? If the answer is yes, then the process is simpler because Sagicor will now let their staff do the investigation, check what happened, and then give you a response or return your money. Okay. If, however, you went to Sagicor Bank with, say, example, a NCB card, and it took your money, what would happen is that when you are making the report, the Sagicor Bank staff will have to record the information and send it off to JETS. JETS is Multilink. So they are in charge of being the middleman between the banks. The banks do not, as it relates to the ABMs or the machine that you deposit or do your withdrawals, they do not correspond generally directly, right? So Multilink, you see the Multilink sign on the machines, yeah? Multilink, otherwise known as JETS, they are the middle person. So the information goes from Sagicor. So we are saying now, you went to Sagicor with your NCB card and the ABM took your cash, right? And Sagicor is going to document the information, send that information to JETS. When JETS gets that information, they are going to send it off to NCB. Then NCB is going to do their investigation and then send it back to JETS. Then JETS is going to send the information back to Sagicor. Now, you might be saying, why am I telling you all of this? Now it is holiday season, and no one, absolutely no one, wants to have a situation that they do not have access to their money at this time, especially this time. This time of year is what we call timely use of money. So you will be delayed by, depending on the institution, how fast they work, probably a week or 2 weeks. So God forbid you did the transaction and Christmas come and gone before it resolved. You don't want that. So do your transactions, if you're depositing, deposit with the same bank card. If you're going to Sagicor, use a Sagicor bank card. If you have an NCB card and you need to do a deposit, do the deposit as it relates to the bank card that you have. If, for example, you are doing a deposit and you're sending money to somebody else that, what should I say? Somebody else that has a different bank, then it is better to do online banking, because that is just 24 hours most times, right? So if anything, it is easier for the banks to quickly sort out that than if you were to go to the machine to do it and using two different situations, using NCB card at a Sagicor bank. No, those don't work well together. And if something goes wrong, it will take up a lot of your time. And because it is holiday season, the volume of transactions that are going to pass through the banking system is ridiculous, for want of a better word. And being somebody who has been in banking and also has gone through the process of resolving situation for clients while at Scotia Bank, for persons who went to the machine, and some of you go to the machine, and when you go to the machine, this is a different situation. So listen up. When you go to the machine, if it says error, if when you try to withdraw the money from your account, it says error, check your balance first before you try to draw again. Because at this time of year, because the machine has so much work doing, sometimes it does not get enough time to recalibrate. So let me put that simpler. It does not get enough time for it to process the transaction properly, and it brings up an error message. And on the banking side, what can happen, especially at this time of year in December, holiday season, is that because this is the time of year the most transactions are done worldwide, right? What can happen is that on the banking side, we get a report. We see where Tagene, she got to the machine and she withdraw, and it's an error, and she draw again, and it's an error, and she draw again, and it's 3 times she tried to draw, and the 3 times she never get any money. What is happening is that part of the process is taking place, meaning the money comes from the account when you're starting the process of the withdrawal, but the machine had an error before it could actually spit out the machine or give you the money that you're withdrawing. So that money now is still at the bank. So now when you go and report it, they will say to you that there was an error and the machine could not process the transaction. Probably they'll say based on the volume or whatever. Some will, some won't. Any which way, you will get back your money. The point of what I'm saying is that if you try to do the transaction at the machine and you get an error, check your balance first. Check your balance to see if the amount in your account has been reduced by the amount that you're withdrawing. If yes, do not, I repeat, do not try the transaction again. Go directly into the bank to a teller and do the transaction and report the error. Okay? All right. So that is if you have an error when you're drawing funds from the machine and you don't get the funds. Okay. Another thing that can happen to you is when you're doing a withdrawal. So now it's not a deposit. When you're doing a withdrawal and it gives you back part of the money. So this is called a partial withdrawal. So say for example, you're withdrawing 20,000. and the machine only gives you 18, right? When you count it, you only get 18. You have to go into the bank now and say, bank, this is what happened to me today. I went to the machine. I tried to draw 20,000. I only received 18. Now, on the banking side, the bank have their own reports that come up that show the full process. And the reports will show that there was a partial withdrawal. So they will see that what you're saying is accurate and they will credit your account. Okay, people? So all the best for this season, this holiday season. This is Tagene from Money Coaching Services. Keep your head up. And if you have time, watch another video. All right. So persons, be very vigilant when you're out there doing your transactions at the machine to either deposit or to do your withdrawals. Go to the bank for the card that you're using. So if you're using a Scotia card, you go to a Scotia machine. If you're using an NCB card, go to an NCB machine to do your withdrawals. All right. And actually, what happens, it actually costs you less. Because if you go to a Scotia machine with another bank's card, the bank is going to charge you the ABM fee, the regular ABM fee, plus the fee that they pay over to Multilink or Jets. Jets is the one that facilitates the withdrawal between the different banks. So you will actually pay more. So you don't want to pay more, and you don't want to have a situation where something happens and it takes you longer to get your cash, right? It will take you longer if you use a different card from the bank that you're actually processing the transaction. All right, so that's it for me today from Money Coaching Services. This is Tagene Brown-McBean. And if you have time, watch another video. We also have, I have a free PDF on debt liberation strategies for easy payoff. So I'm going to put that in the description for you to get that free PDF so that you can have these good tips to help you to manage your money. Bye-bye. See you next time.